Have you ever seen a prison that people voluntarily enter? Inmates here can order any dish they desire. Tables laden with gourmet feasts, Michelin-starred cakes, Boston lobsters, vintage Lafite wine, every luxury ingredient imaginable. Yet this prison is a bottomless tower, where volunteers need only savor meals daily and remain quiet. Every meal is personally crafted by 3 Michelin-starred chefs, using globally sourced premium ingredients, rigorously inspected before serving. Should a single hair contaminate the food, the head chef erupts in fury, ordering staff to remove hats and identify the culprit. The offender faces severe reprimand. This culinary perfection fuels intense competition. As meals descend from the top floor, each level receives a brief serving window before the platform continues downward. But a disturbing pattern emerges. Portions diminish drastically at lower levels, until bottom dwellers starve completely. No one knows how deep the tower goes. Yet those who complete their sentence receive status-elevating honor certificates. Seeking both certification and smoking cessation, Xiao Shuai arrives for intake. Oddly, the interviewer ignores his resume, instead questioning food preferences and aversions. After Xiao Shuai answers, the interviewer unexpectedly orders him to report tomorrow. Bleary-eyed the next morning, Xiao Shuai awakens inside the prison. His gaunt cellmate, an elderly man, declares, "They're incredibly fortunate to be on level 48. Xiao Shuai was perplexed. What significance did the 48th floor hold? Then, driven by curiosity, he peered downward, only to be met by an unfathomable abyss stretching endlessly below. Above him loomed an identical chasm, every floor densely inhabited. The sight struck Xiao Shuai dumb. This was no prison, it was hell itself. Yet the promise of that certificate forced him to console himself, thinking endurance might see him through, unaware of the nightmare awaiting him. He politely greeted the old man beside him. The old man rebuffed him, gesturing sharply to shoo him away. Suddenly, the adjacent indicator light switched from red to green. The old man instantly dropped to his knees, clutching a pillow. A massive stone table descended slowly, laden with delicacies. Most were ravaged by upper floors, yet the old man didn't hesitate. He devoured the scraps voraciously. As Xiao Shuai stared at the feast-turned leftovers, realization dawned. This explained the interviewer's question about his food preferences. With 47 floors towering above him, he'd inherit the refuse of 94 people. Watching the old man's ravenous consumption, Xiao Shuai couldn't fathom how he stomached such revulsion. He quietly salvaged a relatively clean apple, saving it for a nighttime respite. The old man suppressed a derisive smirk. As the timer expired, the stone table began its slow descent to the next floor. The satiated old man hurled an empty bottle downward, then spat contemptuously. When Xiao Shuai questioned this cruelty, the old man sneered. "They'll eat anything, just as those above do to us. Those below can only get the leftovers from those above." Right then, the room's temperature suddenly spiked. The old man calmly told him it would get even hotter, until we're all turned to ash. Unless you toss that apple. It turns out keeping uneaten food here is forbidden. Xiao Shuai panicked and threw it away. Sure enough, the temperature slowly returned to normal. Later he asked the old man, "How many floors are there?" But the old man didn't know. He only knew it was at least 132 floors. He'd been there last time, but the floors below seemed endless. And every month, the prison reassigns floors. If you're unlucky and sent below the 100th floor, all you can do is plead not to starve. Food never reaches that deep. Xiao Shuai wondered how the old man survived a month on the 132nd floor, and why the architects built this prison. The next day, the meal descended slowly as usual. Xiao Shuai stood firm. He'd never eat other scraps. The old man, as always, hocked a loogie down after eating. Chatting, Xiao Shuai learned the old man was here for accidental murder, while he himself volunteered. So the prison mixed convicts with recruited inmates. The managers kept recruiting with enticing offers, though their purpose was unclear. Xiao Shuai argued the upper floors should ration fairly, so those below get their share. The old man barely reacted, dismissing it as hopelessly naive. There's only so much food. Why should the upper levels care about those below? If you've lived below the 100s, you know how precious food is. It's hell on earth. But Xiao Shuai thought it was worth a shot. He tried appealing to level 49, but was met with mockery. That's when he realized changing this place would take more than words. Xiao Shuai accepted reality, pulling out the book he'd brought to kill time. He asked what item the old man had brought. The old man slowly produced a fruit knot, mocking him. A book? Weapons are what matter here. They protect you and get you food when needed. 2 weeks later, Xiao Shuai couldn't bear the hunger any longer. He approached the table, accepting the filthy scraps. He wolfed them down like the old man. Just as he finished eating and reached for his book, a body crashed down from above. Xiao Shuai froze in shock. The old man beside him remained calm. This was nothing new to him. Is life worthless here? Xiao Shuai demanded. He shouted at the upper levels, but got no response. After composing himself, he washed his face. Then he asked, "How did you survive on 132? Who was with you before? Why did your cellmates disappear?" Suspecting the old man killed them, Xiao Shuai watched. As the table descended, the old man stayed silent, preparing to eat. But then a woman emerged on the table. Xiao Shuai saw her covered in wounds and wanted help, but she refused outright. The old man said this woman comes down every month searching for a child, and each time she kills her cellmate. That person who just fell? Probably her doing. The old man then answered the earlier question. Turns out he didn't kill his roommate on 132. A body fell on day 8. That's how he survived. His roommate served the full sentence and was released. As the meal ended, the woman descended with the table. But the two men on 49 showed no mercy. Dragging her aside immediately, Xiao Shuai shouted from above, demanding they stop, debating whether to jump down. Then came the men's screams from below. The woman climbed back onto the table unharmed. But now blood splattered. The outcome was clear. Coming this deep, so fearlessly? She's no saint. Days passed. Xiao Shuai adapted to prison life, chatting often with the old man. But a crisis loomed. Floor reassignment was coming. Upper floors would be manageable, but below 100? No food. Would their bond survive? That night, the old man urged Xiao Shuai to pray. Then Xiao Shuai felt dizzy. He woke bound to the bed. The old man's doing. They'd been assigned to terrifying floor 171. Food would never reach this deep. The old man explained he'd be released in 2 months, and couldn't just die here. So don't blame me, but I'll try to keep you alive. Only when I can't hold out will I resort to cutting. Just enough to keep you barely alive. Xiao Shuai pleaded desperately, but the old man remained unmoved. Survival was all that mattered. Suddenly, a body crashed down from above. Likely the woman's former cellmate. Such deaths had become routine here. When the dining platform descended, just as predicted, every scrap of food had been devoured. Not a single crumb remained. Days dragged on. At first, reading distracted the old man from hunger. But starvation grew unbearable, until he could endure no longer. He advanced on Xiao Shuai. Resigned to becoming food, Xiao Shuai stopped struggling and turned away. Suddenly the woman arrived with a platform. Seeing his madness, she smashed a bottle over his head and finished him without mercy. As Xiao Shuai braced for death, she revealed she'd come to repay him. Untying him, she pressed a knife into his hand. Her message was clear. This deep down, only the ruthless survive. Show no mercy or be killed. After days of her care, Xiao Shuai recovered. Seeing him stable, she descended with the platform to lower depths. Soon it was time for floor reassignment again. Xiao Shuai got lucky this time, being assigned to the 33rd floor. What surprised him was finding his former interviewer as his cellmate. It turned out the man had also entered voluntarily. From her, Xiao Shuai learned this place was called the Vertical Self-Management Center. More astonishingly, the facility had 200 floors, meaning 400 prisoners were crammed inside. The table's food could actually sustain all 400 people, if everyone rationed their portions. Human greed made this impossible. Thus those at the bottom starved, their only hope being to fight over scraps. The former interviewer had come voluntarily to change the prison's brutal system, planning to reveal this secret and save everyone. When the table descended, he portioned meals onto plates, urging those below, take only what's on your plate. Instead, he faced curses and shoving, since all had starved in lower floors before. Why ration when they finally reached the top? Yet the woman persisted. She believed she could change this place. Each mealtime, she kept rationing for those below, pleading with them earnestly. Still, the lower prisoners remained unmoved. Xiao Shuai finally snapped. He threatened, follow her rules, or I'll dump waste on you daily. To everyone's surprise, it worked. Sometimes intimidation works better than sweet talk. But this only changes one floor, with just 2 people powerless to change the law of the jungle here. That day, the woman descended slowly with the table again. But this time she was injured and fell unconscious. The 2 quickly carried her to bed for basic treatment. Fortunately, her injuries weren't severe. But unexpectedly, upon waking, she immediately devoured the interviewer's puppy. The interviewer was devastated, but asking him to take revenge. Killing the woman was impossible. The next day, the woman continued descending with the table. spotting murderous intent from 2 prisoners below. She promptly killed them both. Soon came the day for another floor reassignment. This time, they were assigned to the 202nd floor. The interviewer knew survival was impossible there, and with his own terminal cancer, time was running out. In the end, he chose to end his life to give Xiao Shuai a chance. In truth, he was just a low-level employee here, unaware that post-interview, people were sent to this prison. Even the prison's floor count was just his speculation. Xiao Shuai couldn't accept this life of preying on one another. Though initially surviving by eating books, eventually he succumbed and took action. Once again, he endured the depths. On the 4th reassignment day, upon waking, his first act was checking the floor number, seeing it was the 6th. Only then did he relax, finally free from the inhuman lower floors. This roommate was a strong man, yet he wore a climbing harness. Intent on reaching the top, he begged the 5th floor inmates for help, surprisingly receiving their agreement. Without hesitation, Blackie hurled the rope upward. After bidding Handsome farewell, he immediately began climbing. Just as he neared the top, a 5th floor inmate mooned him, causing Blackie to lose balance and fall. Fortunately, Handsome reacted swiftly, pulling him back from the precipice. Saved, Blackie frantically scrubbed off the 5th. His attempt was an escape plan all along. Now assigned to the 6th floor, he might never get another chance. During the meal, upper-tier food proved remarkably untouched, barely consumed, while lower floors subsisted on scraps. Handsome resolved to change this, knowing words were futile, only force could achieve justice. Persuading Blackie to join his cause, they dismantled their beds at dawn. Armed with iron rods, they boarded the descending meal platform. At each level, they commanded the prisoners. Food distribution would start at floor 51. Let the well-fed top 50 tiers endure one hungry day, without fatal consequence. When an old man challenged them, Blackie struck him down. A brutal demonstration of resolve. Under their menacing watch, none dared approach until an elder spoke. He condemned their approach as folly, warning that fellow bottom dwellers would only breed greater hatred. You must inform those at the very top about the situation here. Though the facility's administrators lack conscience, the staff at level 0 are different. They're from the bottom 2, so they understand our plight better. Ultimately, they decided to leave an exquisitely plated dish to make level 0 staff recognize the issue here. Then the pair descended further. Anyone disobeying was bludgeoned to death. Soon they reached level 51. They distributed rationed food to prisoners here, before descending deeper into worsening hellscapes. Continuous fighting left them battered, and rations dwindled rapidly as time blurred. The platform halted at level 333, the absolute bottom. Expecting emptiness, they instead found a little girl hiding under a bed. She was the child the woman desperately sought. The girl's mouth watered at the sight of the last cake. But this cake was their vital message to the upper levels. Yet they reconsidered. Risking their lives was meant to save everyone, wasn't it? Facing this starving child, Lao He gave her the final cake, then collapsed from his grievous wounds. Xiao Shuai knew surrender wasn't an option. Next day, he descended with the girl, through consuming darkness. After timeless descent, the platform reached its limit. Xiao Shuai resolved to send the girl up as their message, a living plea to upper levels for more sustenance. And he fell forever into this abyss of darkness.